Hello and welcome to another episode of the Anything Else podcast here at the lovely Haines Mile Pub. I am your host, Mr. Olli Eldrick. Joining me in the co-host chair, I have Mr. Alex Lintz.
Sure am.
Joining me in the producer chair, I have Mr. Dallas Outsider.
Hello, I'm hungover.
And joining us in the hot seat today, we have the wonderful, the psychedelic
The diminutive.
Sister Sadie, also known as Keisha from Chesterfields. Lovely to have you.
Howdy.
How
Happy to
do?
be here.
Glad to have you. Well, you need no introduction from us. We know you quite well, but the viewers, the listeners at home might not know who you are. Do you want to give a little bit of an overview of why people should
Short
know
bio.
you?
And you can talk about music in this section.
Okay, why you should know me. Wow.
Yeah.
Let's start with a fun fact.
Yeah.
I am a award-winning songwriter.
I
A
didn't
lot
know
of
this.
people don't know
What
that.
award?
It was the SoCan Youth Songwriter Award, something like that.
That's cool.
They'd probably hate that I don't even remember what it's called. But yeah, it was, I randomly submitted like a solo single for this award. I got it. I was the only person west of Ontario to win it.
You said is a youth award? How old were you when you won that?
18 or 19. Like,
That's
I was
wild.
pretty young, yeah. It was really cool.
And so it's a national award as well. Which
Yeah, it was
that's
like
pretty
by
nifty.
SoCan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was the only person west of Ontario, which is weird.
Nice.
Was
Like,
that your
all the
your
other-
first like foray into professional music? Is that how you kind of got into where you are now?
No, that was just a weird dirt road. No. Yeah, no, I got into music because my mom was a piano teacher and organ teacher when she was 16. So it was kind of ingrained. Like, she'd always play piano at home, like Beethoven and Bach and that kind of stuff. And I would dance as a ballerina. And we couldn't afford dance lessons, so I ended up just playing music like my mom did.
Nice.
Yeah, and since I was a kid, I always had this crazy ear. Like, I could hear a song and just play it back to you. I think my mom said I started like when I was 4. I'd just like walk up to a piano and just play what was on the radio.
That's wild.
It
I hate people
mystified her.
like you because I really can't do it.
And it totally pissed her off because I started playing the song she was playing when I was like young. Like, I would just go up to the piano and start playing them.
And see, the worst part about her is she has that ability, and then she also tries hard, and so then when you combine natural talent with discipline, that's bullshit. That's not fair.
What can I say?
You got to be a
Yeah.
bit lazy about it. Come on, leave some room for the rest of us.
Well, Keisha, we love your band. We love your music. Some of us are your family, but for God's sake, can you talk about anything else?
I don't know.
Okay, let's predict what her.
Oh,
passion
she has an
project-
actual
yeah.
topic this time?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Do
good,
I?
good, good.
Let's predict what your passion project is.
Okay, my prediction's going to be, and this is going to be stupid on my part, I predict she's going to talk about her degree that I actually still don't know what her major is.
I think it's going to be talking about the wider family of these two.
Oh, I was gonna say family as well. Yeah.
Her special interest is Dallas.
Special interest is Uncle Jeff.
I'm obsessed.
Wait, is that what you were going to say?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I was
okay.
gonna say.
All right, my topic for today is undiagnosed ADHD hyperfixations.
Ooh.
Fair enough.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, Dallas had told me, like, we're gonna be asking you about your hobbies. I don't have hobbies.
You have brief bursts of interest.
Yeah. So, like,
I
for
get that.
example, right now I'm in a film photography course, and I already had a film camera that I bought in 2020 and used once, and then now I was like, oh, I could take a class in this. So I've been like actually shooting film, developing it, and printing it with like the whole like sizing it up and stuff. So that's kind of like my hyperfixation right now.
How long do you think it's going to last?
Oh, it's like already fading. I'm, like,
She's already skipping class.
I'm good. I'm like decent. I'm not skipping that class because it's a night class, so that's good. Yeah, that's been one of the most recent ones. Crochet. Did
I
that
think
for like
everyone
3
goes
weeks.
through a crochet moment at some point.
Usually when they're like 40, but
I don't
maybe
know.
it's something you'll return to later on.
Well, this is how like the hyperfixation works. Is like you're always on your phone, you're always watching shows, and then you start to feel really guilty because you're like, I'm not gaining anything. I'm just like being struck by media constantly. So I need to do something with my hands. So I was like, oh well, I'll crochet while I watch TV. That lasted for like 3 weeks. I made my grandma a scarf and called it good.
What's the most expensive dead end hobby you've had?
Film photography.
What camera is it?
I have a Olympus OM1
Ooh,
with
nice.
no light meter.
Okay.
So light meter, like you line up your shot and then it tells you if you need to add light
Yeah,
or take away light.
yeah.
I don't have that, so I'm just
You're
guessing,
you're freeballing the
freeballing
entire
it.
way.
And I actually asked the camera store here in town, Dawn's Photo, if they have batteries to make my camera work, and they said they don't make those batteries anymore.
Yeah.
Like most film cameras, they do, but for some reason the OM1 they've just given up
some of the
on.
Olympus ones ran on a little bit more experimental stuff, so that just no one else has ever used them.
Yeah.
Compared to Canon's been using the same batteries for God knows how long. Some of them are interchangeable between companies. But yeah, some of the Olympus ones.
Yeah.
What do you into as far as like subject goes? Like, what do you like taking shots of?
I'm mostly into people because I think it's the most exciting when you take a photo of a person and you just want to show it to them, you know?
But with film, you can't. You've got to wait a while.
For my class, I had to do framing shots.
Okay,
There's
yeah.
a better word for it. I just can't think. Composition. There it is.
Yeah.
Mise en scène.
So like your rule of thirds, your line, your diagonal, a triangle, and then there's one other. So I had no subjects that day, so I just went and shot around Broadway. And at the end, I developed my film and I looked at it under the light. And I was like, I don't care about a single one of these photos. Like they don't have anything to pull me in or make me want to print them to put on my wall or, just it's photos of Broadway. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's called an art for a reason. There's
Yeah.
a lot more. Yeah, it's not just taking pretty photos. There's a lot more in the composition and stuff. I actually, despite having a film degree, I suck at photography. I do well with motion video. I don't do very well with still images. I'm not awful. I'm just not as good as.
You sure have a lot of opinions on them, though.
Is that because you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I not be a critic of things I have no knowledge about? Is this not a free country?
Is that because you Oh, I don't know. I forgot my question as I was saying it. ADHD.
Isn't film just a series of still images?
It is.
though?
It is
So-
absolutely. But each one of my images on their own suck. But as a whole thing, then don't suck as bad.
I see.
I see.
So is that like how Dallas and I are bad at drawing, but if we had a flip book, it'd be good?
Yeah, kind of.
I actually used to be really good at drawing early on as a kid,
Did he?
but then after high school, it kind of washed away all the fun. I lost my ability to draw.
Was he an artistic savant as a child?
I don't know.
We didn't actually see each other much as kids.
Yeah,
We
he lived in Vancouver
That's a
for
good point.
years.
Yeah.
Dallas
That
lives in
guy's-
Vancouver. He never talks about it.
My memories of Dallas as a kid were okay, so we had this great grandmother who had 12 children,
Yeah.
and those 12 children all had very many children
Yeah.
too, and then those kids had us.
Like one
And
of those
also-
families.
Well,
Okay.
we know that had to be
So
the
that's
case
why
because
Dallas has
so-
1,000 cousins and
Yeah.
a million uncles.
Great Grandma
and-
Ethel,
Yeah.
Grandma D.
So I want to figure out what cousin are we exactly, because I know that our grandmas are sisters.
So your
Our
second
grandmas
cousin.
are
Second cousin.
sisters.
Okay.
Our mums are cousins, and we're
Second cousin.
second cousins.
If you
therefore.
have a disparity between
Yeah.
the generations, that's where the
Second cousin
first,
removed.
the second time removes come in.
Yeah.
But if you are the same generation, basically the more ancestors you go back, you add.
Ollie's really obsessed with the royal family, and therefore he's an expert on these sorts of things.
Yeah, so we have this huge extended family, and our grandma D, our great grandma, the
tribal chief.
the spawn of all these children. She used to have big Thanksgivings, big Easters, and so that's when I would see Dallas.
Yeah.
But my memories of him as a kid were mostly him clinging to his mom.
Yeah.
And I think we're a similar age,
Oh yeah.
but you were very, very shy.
No, we're same age. You're
Yeah.
a few months younger than me.
Would you agree with the statement that Dallas is a mama's boy?
Yes, 100%.
I agree.
I say this as a prime example of a mummy's boy. I have nothing on Dallas. Dallas is peak mama's boy.
Yeah.
I have to be fair. I've met Brandy. She's delightful.
Oh,
She's awesome.
fantastic woman.
Yeah.
Not a bad
She
choice.
has many cats.
Yes.
That's a feat.
I have many cats as well.
You have too many
runs,
cats.
It runs down the family.
Let it be known that Dallas is only allowed to have about one cat in his apartment. He has 3.
Don't tell this to my landlord.
Don't tell his landlord or his neighbor that got him towed that one time. Fuck you, buddy.
So on the topic of hyperfixations,
yes. Let you, the person with ADHD, bring us back to the
yeah,
focus.
right? So I'm in university. Nobody knows for what, which is hilarious.
Which I'm still so sorry about.
I just
No, it's
because
good.
because of Alex's misinformation, I just have this nebulous idea that you do history.
That's because that's
Well, yeah,
the only
he
time
was-
I've ever interacted with her is through history courses.
Alex was actually my
TA.
TA for a history seminar, and that's how we actually met.
Yep.
But yeah, my degrees in
Yeah, we met because, do you remember the day we met? The day we met
When I
was
came-
because it was about 8 weeks into the course and you showed up and sat in the front row and I'd never seen you before. And after class, you like pulled me aside. You're like, hey, so I haven't been to any of the seminars yet. Is that going to be a problem? And then I was like, oh, fuck, I don't know what to do.
like, can we just like fix this so I can at least pass? I also want to say I sit in the front because I'm freaking blind. I'm not like a goody two shoes. I actually just can't see.
Yeah. I sit at the front usually because I can't hear.
Yeah. So yeah, he was my TA. I passed the course.
Yes, you did.
Thank you very
welcome.
much. But yeah, so my actual degree is in archaeology and anthropology.
Okay,
Which I
that's
think
funny,
they've
'cause that's
just
my
renamed
minor.
anthropology.
You have
really?
you have the flip of me.
No
That's
way.
fascinating.
That's cool. I'm definitely more into anthropology than I am archaeology.
Anthropology is
But-
pretty cool.
Why
It's a good
anthropology?
topic.
I like stories. I really like stories.
So why not history then?
Because there's more to
Because
there's more to
history is like usually like whitewash or like it's the winner's view, you know, like
Oh, you.
there's like for and yeah, I don't go to half the classes, so but yeah, I like anthropology because it's like firsthand accounts or like somebody going to a civilization or society and living within it to look like try.
Hey Ollie, you want to
try
tell
to
us about
grasp
your
their
history of your
society?
people, about going to civilizations and living amongst
Let's not go there.
I know about that part of history. I think like I just view it in a different light where it's really more about trying to forget completely who you are, all of your biases, everything you've known since childhood, going to another culture and trying to experience it from their lens. And it's cool because often it starts like if you don't speak the language and you go somewhere to do research, they bring you up like a child. Like you're learning the language on the fly, you're learning all of their customs, like everything. It's so cool.
Which is fascinating because so our disciplines are very much twin disciplines in that like anthropology and history definitely get along really well. But the thing we criticize you guys for is what you just said about you guys are too involved. And in turn you criticize us for not being involved enough and
Yeah.
being too detached. So where do you think about that?
I think like history is important and it can inform like, well, I don't know, but then there's also like ethno,
Ethnocentrism.
well that, but
Ethnography.
ethnography. Yeah, like traditional land,
I think
ecological knowledge. I don't know.
I think the main thing as well is the fact is that like disciplines are a lot more blurred than people like to admit they are.
100%.
Like history and anthropology aren't like separate disciplines. There is
intermingle.
Hugely. I think the only thing I always say I'm more fascinated by anthropology than history, only because history is only one part of my interest. I'm fascinated by language, culture, religion, all these different things that are part of anthropology but not necessarily part of history. Definitely related. One of my favorite things, though, I go by Professor Duncan in Community. If it exists, if a person is involved in it, it's anthropology. That's my special interest is people.
What's your focus in anthropology then? Like what's the thing that you're mainly interested in?
I mostly enjoy environmental policy.
Okay.
It's like pretty cool, like giving the land, like personifying land and giving it rights and like protection. I think that's really cool, especially when you look at Haida Gwaii and how that's all rolled out. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Also, just like yeah, that like I said, like stepping into someone else's shoes and understanding their culture from the base up. Another point, I forgot it.
So basically, you're saying you like having empathy for people, basically, which is probably why I do history, not anthropology, because I lack empathy.
Yeah.
Alex doesn't play nicely with the other children.
Oh, I remember. The other point I had is that with history, like, so use this one book I read, for example. It's called In Search of Respect. I'd have to look up the author. But it's basically this guy moves to, is it Harlem? In New York. And he, like, lives in the ghetto and, like, lives with drug dealers and, like, hangs out with them all day for, like, I don't know, it must have been over, like, a couple of years. And it's just like, it's very sociological, this book.
Yeah.
In nature, it's like more talking about the stats and stuff of poverty and that. But I feel like you wouldn't get that in history, that personal touch of him like living there with these people, living in these like low income housing,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, in
So-
fact, a lot of historians would probably say, "Oh, like you're too involved, so therefore your evidence is
Well, the
not
problem is-
legit." kind
and
of
also
thing.
the problem is at that point, even if you were to claim yourself as a historian, it's close to historical journalism
Yeah.
than it is.
Yeah,
to
so that's
base-
definitely an advantage anthropology has, is being able to do work like that. Yeah.
Yeah. See, like if I'm reading about William the Conqueror, like yeah, there's his historical stats of like how he like left Normandy and took over England, essentially, right? But you don't like learn quite as much about him, the man himself. You just learn about what he did.
Well, that's why you need to read microhistories that then focus on the
Yeah.
microcosms of
There
the
is
event.
Yeah.
there is actually William the Conqueror is a really one of the things I find most fascinating. And no one really talks about it. No one's made any.
If you haven't
film
noticed
or
at this point, Ollie's
books
from
or anything
England.
about it. And I haven't seen any like major books or anything talking about it either. Is that for a while the guy who would eventually go on to defeat at the Battle of Hastings, Harold Godwinson,
Yeah.
actually was one of his most trusted advisors during a war in France, and they were actually very close. But they knew that both them were at that time gearing up their claims on the throne of England, and so there was this like parity of them being super pally, getting on really well, and knowing that it wasn't going to end well for one of them at least. And yeah, I haven't seen it. I was just like, that would be a great film. No one
We should call Timothy Chalamet.
I don't want Timothy Chalamet. I don't want Timothy Chalamet speaking old Norman to me.
He did another movie
He was
about
in,
Henry the.
he was in The
Fourth
King,
or
which is
fifth?
about
Yeah.
Henry V. He played
Yeah.
the Dauphin. Did he play Henry V or did he play the Dauphin? No, he played Henry
Henry
V.
V, yeah.
Because Robert Pattinson, who you've seen the butt crack of, played the Dauphin of France.
It was a good movie.
That was so weird to see Robert Pattinson in that role. Just very strange. I'm a Twilight diehard, so
Yeah.
I've seen the first Twilight and I've not seen the other ones, and I keep thinking, during the pandemic, loads of people got really back into Twilight, and I was like, should I? I decided against it.
it's good. I
Yeah.
got my husband into it.
Oh, poor Cordell.
He loves it.
Poor man. What a lovely guy.
He's a good guy.
Okay,
He's
going back.
donating plasma right now.
Oh, nice.
What a
going-
good guy.
Going back to the hyperfixations, though.
Yeah.
What do you think was the? I suffer from this quite a lot. Of, like Alex always jokes about. I will talk about something as if it's always interested me, and I've literally just looked up an article on my phone
Yeah.
half an hour before. What was the first thing you remember being super into and then just fittering away?
Embroidery,
Yeah.
I think.
Has it been primarily handicrafts with you then, like with the crochet and this?
No. It goes all over the place. Sometimes it's like just gaming,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
You like Legos?
No. We
Same.
couldn't afford Legos growing up, so I didn't actually get my first Lego set until I met my husband, and I told him that I never had one, and he bought me one.
What do you think of Play-Doh?
Play-Doh's good.
What do you think
Yeah.
of homemade Play-Doh?
My mom used to make it.
Me too. That's the best, isn't it?
It's really good.
I think I know what noxious fumes knocked out some of your brain cells.
What do you mean? Homemade
No,
Play-Doh is
it's like
literally just like bread
Flour
dough.
and
basically.
water and
It
salt,
just
isn't
sounds
it?
a little. It sounds a little.
Yeah,
If
flour,
anything,
flour
Play-Doh-
water, salt, and food coloring, and that's it.
You know what?
Yeah, if
You know-
anything,
You can
Play-Doh
eat
is
it.
the
Yeah, Play-Doh is the noxious fumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know where Play-Doh came from? Actually,
I'm sure you're gonna tell us.
I am.
No.
It was meant to be a wallpaper cleaner. Like you'd stick it to it and it'd pull off the gunk. And then we found out that wasn't a big market, and they were like, "Oh, well, how else can we sell this malleable, moderately edible?"
What we could do with
product?"
all this dough.
Pretty much.
In more than one sense of the word. Oh.
So yeah, that's my fun fact. I don't really have any. Well, I have loads of others. Who am I
What's
kidding?
the? It wasn't Lego, but it was like a bigger version of Lego.
Duplo,
No, not Duplo.
Megabox.
Bionicles.
That's a totally different discussion.
What did
Bionicle.
oh man,
I don't know what I'm talking. It's just plastic. It's still plastic. I don't know. Never mind.
Is it? Are you talking about like it looks like
No.
Lego, but
Yeah.
it's bigger?
Yeah.
That's Duplo.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Duplo
what
is
my
like the
nephew
younger
has.
kids' version of Lego,
Cool.
but it also interacts with. Lego is actually incredibly well designed stuff.
We've already done an episode on that.
We have, yeah, we did.
We're
We
going
have already.
over old ground.
We have,
Check
yeah.
back on Christopher Vassar's episode.
Go back to episode 3.
Yeah.
That's the
texture
thing I don't
packs.
get about. Okay, so like we all love a good like Sims
Oh yeah.
run, right? I haven't played it in a while because my computer can't handle it. Like the fan speed on
Yeah.
my computer's like not enough. But I always wonder like, do people actually buy all of these kits? Like it's ridiculous.
I was so I got really into Sims during Sims 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I was select about which ones I bought, but I had like 3 or 4 expansions. I didn't buy any of the other like online downloadable like that.
There's so much.
Yeah.
There's some like really in-depth ones.
Ollie was posh.
Yeah.
He's just done denying it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those problems that like I don't feel posh because I was around people far posher than me.
Ollie's parents worked really hard to ensure he could be a douchebag later in life.
Pretty much, yeah. Like,
Isn't that the American dream?
honestly, I am just an utter disappointment to my
Fun
family.
fact,
It's
Ollie's a
wonderful.
monarchist and would like to see the crown restored to the only office in the land.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Me
And I
neither.
don't like that. I'll hear it in the edits. Oh, crikey. Yeah.
So what do you plan on doing with your anthro degree then?
I have no idea.
Ditto.
I was thinking like, well, I really want to just stop and not finish it, but that would be silly because I put like almost
much
5
time
years
into
into it because I'm doing
Yeah, I
3
know.
classes at a time.
You sound like my mother when I was telling her I wanted to be done my master's, and she's like, "But you spent all this time and money." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's killing me."
Yeah. I
These
feel like
people are
most people
crazy
don't
and I hate them.
understand that when you're like, I want to drop out, and they're like, no, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm like so stressed.
Yeah.
I need to quit.
What
Yeah.
is your opinion on, because I've become very, very disillusioned with academia as an entire thing. Where are you on at that point? Not the discipline, but academia.
In general,
Yeah,
I
like-
think it takes itself way too seriously. And then, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts on school.
We're coming for you, academics.
How overpaid are our professors, Keisha?
I don't even know what they make, but probably
Look it
way
up.
too
It's public
fucking
knowledge,
much.
and it's wild.
There's I think Frank Clausen's wage is right. He's a really good prof.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, there's like definitely like some profs. Like I have a TA teaching my film photography class, and she's like decent, but it's like I don't know what you're making, but
TA
like
is
you,
As a TA?
Yeah.
So fun fact for y'all. My first year with my master's, I got the lowest funding package ever offered by the university.
Wow.
In fact, my supervisor tried to tell the department that it was immoral for them to take on students that year, but they had to keep grants. So they took us on the worst funding package ever offered. It was a joke,
Wow.
an absolute joke.
As-
Still is a joke.
As someone who's also spent a long time working for universities, people at universities are either, at least in the UK, either wildly overpaid or wildly underpaid. And most of the people that you interact with on a day-to-day are usually underpaid.
But yeah, the professors are definitely way overpaid. It's ridiculous.
To me, it depends on how much effort they're actually putting in. Like, I really like classes that have discussions, like a smaller class in general, like 20 adults max.
Yeah.
Yeah, like group discussions. I have one prof right now that like in the middle of the lecture, she does a review of what she just covered.
Yeah.
So that's super nice. She's also like the only prof I've ever seen put like nice backgrounds and images in their slides
Yeah.
that keep you engaged because we're talking about food, like archaeology of food. So she's like going above and beyond. It's awesome.
Have you ever put a review on Rate My Prof?
Not on Rate My Prof, but I've done the SLEQs.
Oh, the SLEQs are bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't fill out the Okay, so the SLEQs are a survey you fill out as a student at the end. Every university has their version of this. And they're a survey, essentially, that you fill out at the end of the course. And you're basically supposed to rate, like, how the professor did, how was the course, and all this other shit. And they're like, oh, it's anonymous, don't worry.
after about the 200 level, your classes have about 10 people in them when you're in history and stuff like that. How is that anonymous?
Yeah.
That's not anonymous at all. If I'm the one guy that had a problem with you, it's going to be pretty obvious who filled out this one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've covered. The woes of academia, the highs and
So
lows.
there's this
of
professor in
hyperfixation.
Brandon. Her name.
For those not
Yeah.
watching, that was me striking Alex with my notes.
But I know, like, we're not supposed to talk about music here, but one of the biggest things as a musician is that, like, your university is typically like your fallback plan if the music doesn't work out. And so that's why I'm like, well, maybe I should stick it out, but I'm not going to use this degree. And I have a job with the city doing
Also,
horticulture.
your band is doing too well for you to.
Have a fallback?
Yeah.
Well, not well enough. Let's
Look, you're doing
say
better
that.
than us, and if you dropped it now, we'd be disappointed. I'd be the opposite of your parents. Like, hey, I know you want to get this real job and get wealthy, but I really think should be pursuing this further.
Yeah.
Are we on to the regular segment?
We are now on to our regular
Okay.
segment.
let's do
So
it.
we're going to start with a segment that I call Who Dis. I'm going to give you the name of a person who exists in the real world. I am not expecting you to know who this person
Originally, it was a
is.
segment that
I'm
I
expecting you
called
to
Who
give me
Dis.
a fictional biography of them
Why are you
based
looking at
solely
me?
on the vibes of
Why
their
aren't you
name.
looking at the camera when you talk?
I don't know. Just making a
Your
point to
person
you. I'm
today,
directing.
woman, please. God, it's like herding cats.
That's a phrase I used that he learned.
Your person today is Dick Blood. This person was supplied to us by Dallas Outside.
Dick Blast?
Blood.
Dick
Dick Blood. I think he's a senior VP at a teleconferencing agency. He has a little bit of IT background. He's known in his local pub for excelling at the Wednesday night trivia.
Haines
And
Mile
he
Pub
jogs.
here has a Wednesday night trivia.
I think he jogs, Dick Blood.
I want to hang out with
He
this
can't
Dick
jog
Blood.
that much if he's got dick blood.
Do you want to know
You'd
who?
be
Do
surprised.
you want to know who Dick Blood really was?
Sure.
Dallas?
He's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
He's a WWE wrestler.
Oh,
That's his secret identity.
That's his real.
I
yeah,
think he would
government
excel
name.
in IT.
His government.
Honestly, yeah. And also, honestly, if you're a wrestler, like the fact you didn't stick with Dick Blood is disappointing.
Yeah, that's such a good wrestling name.
Even if you just went to Ricky Blood, I'd still take that.
Ricky Blood.
Richard
Ugh.
Blood.
Ricky the Dick Blood Steamboat.
This next segment is Hill to Die On. I'm going to give you something that I want you to argue viciously about that does not matter at all. You can take one side, Dallas will take the other. Today's question is: what's better for a trip, driving or flying?
Ooh, driving.
Make your point.
When you're driving on a trip, you can pull over and stretch your legs. You can also move your seat around, have all that leg room. I hate not having leg room on flights.
You are 5 foot nothing.
Yeah, it's still, I get antsy, I get jittery, my
Aren't you
legs.
carry on?
But yeah, no, driving, like, it's like just you and your bud, or just you like have good, like, full volume. You don't gotta wear earplugs. You don't have to have the little pill over your neck. You don't have to wait to ask for a beverage. You don't have to, well, I guess you can't pee. Because in a plane, you have to pee in a little closet.
Yeah.
You know?
Dallas, do you have a rebuttal? Why is flying better than driving?
Well, you can't drive to Europe. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, you can.
When have you ever been
How?
to Europe?
You take the big fucking bridge that goes to Europe, Dallas, you dumbass.
Is there a bridge that goes to Europe?
No.
Yeah, from Prince Edward Island. Connects at
I
Sheffield.
think it's still under construction.
But why is flying better, Dallas?
I just said.
Just is that it? That's,
Yeah, that's the reason.
That's your
all.
only reason.
Yeah, and it's actually safer to fly.
It is.
Despite the the X-ray
Yeah.
radiation poisoning you get from flying too much. You should know that pilots actually have a 25% chance of getting cancer in their life after taking a
Yeah,
pilot as a
and
career.
so do you probably from seeing ghosts in LA too many times.
Is that all you got?
It's also you're more likely to die on driving to the airport than you are from dying on a plane.
So for you, it's about safety,
Yeah.
not convenience or anything like that.
Oh
Safety.
no, it's also fast, but it's terrible for the environment, and it's also terrible for your body in general. But otherwise, it's quick.
Here's one for both of you then. flying versus driving with friends?
Driving.
I would rather drive.
I'd rather drive with friends. I've been on planes with friends. It's fucking tense to get to the airport and make sure everyone's got all their stuff. I hate it.
A lot of
Thanks,
the
Keisha.
time
That
you're
was a
not
good answer.
even.
Sorry, I got
A lot of the time you're not even seated together on a plane. Like the times I have flown with friends, they're like, I don't know. I don't know why we got split up, but it always happens.
Maybe you look too shifty together.
Do you have a rebuttal to that?
No.
The road trip?
Uh, uh, why don't we take trains more often? That's my rebuttal.
Okay,
Don't
so
go-
Trains are
I
expensive.
think Keisha wins.
Let us know what you think. Back home.
Like and subscribe.
All right, I get to sit back and relax for this next segment. This is Are You Smarter Than Dallas Outsider, Seen It edition. Alex is going to give you 5 questions from Seen It. You get them first. If you get them wrong, we pass them over to Dallas, see if he can get them. Whoever ends up with the most after 5 questions wins.
All right, I am cutting the
Okay.
deck here. Okay. Welcome to Are You Smarter Than Dallas Outsider Seen It edition. Dallas is yet to win a single one of these this season, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So, what actress appeared in all of the following films? That Thing You Do, Dr. T, and Empire Records.
I haven't seen a single one of those films, so I'm going to say Mila Kunis.
Dallas?
Oh man, my answer was also going to be Mila Kunis.
It was Liv Tyler.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah.
John Cusack and Jack Black have been in 3 movies together as of 2001. What are they? I will settle for one of them.
Who's John Cusack? Line?
He looked kind of like...
Who's... I don't know how to... What do you mean, who's John Cusack?
Oh, one film he was in that didn't have Jack Black in. He was in Serendipity.
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
It's filmed with John Cusack.
One of the best movies ever.
I'm going to go with School of Rock.
Dallas?
That's the only one I know that Jack Black was in before 2001, other than Tenacious D. So I'm just gonna go with the other option, Tenacious D.
No.
Okay.
Your options were The Cradle Will Rock, Bob Roberts, and a answer that Earl Pereira had on his episode, which was High Fidelity, which was his favorite Jack Black movie.
Interestingly, though, you were half correct because John Cusack's sister is in School of Rock. She plays
Yes.
the principal in
Okay.
it. That's Joan Cusack.
Okay.
Yeah, Joan and John, not very imaginative by the parents. So
Yeah.
that's nothing after 2 questions.
Okay. Question 3. What is the biggest selling film soundtrack of all time?
Film soundtrack. Oh, it's got to be like Star Wars.
This is what you're going with, Star Wars?
Yeah.
Dallas?
I'm gonna say Titanic.
It's The Bodyguard.
Really? I thought it was going to be Titanic.
What's the
Whitney
Bodyguard?
Houston, man. Whitney
I don't know
Houston.
any of these movies.
And I Will Always Love You was on the soundtrack. It was written for the Bodyguard.
Interesting.
Bodyguard?
I don't know.
Bodyguard.
Also, part of the fun of this segment is when nobody knows the movies. This is going very well for me.
I just know, we just know that Adam Beitel is sitting at home going, I know this one, I know this one.
All right, question 4. One tagline for this film stated, "In the future, cities will become deserts, roads will become battlefields, and the hope of mankind will appear as a stranger."
Sounds like a Western. I'm going to go with 8 Mile.
Not 8 Mile, which is my favorite Western. I really love Kevin Costner in 8 Mile.
He's a lawman. He's Marshall Mathers.
That's one of the funniest things you've ever said, and I'm not even going to laugh at it because it was just clever. Dallas?
Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
No, it's Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior.
Oh, dang.
Oh. Never
Okay,
seen it.
This is question 5, I think.
this is the final question.
Let's see if someone can get points on the board.
All right, this is a pretty famous trivia question. What movie and its sequel won the Academy Award for Best Picture in the 70s? Also, bonus fact, it's the only 2 movies where 2 different actors have won the Best Actor Oscar for playing the same character.
Oh.
2 movies in the 70s.
Very famous pair of films. Part of a trilogy. I'm giving way too many hints.
I'm blanking. I want to say The Parent Trap, but I don't think that has a sequel.
I don't think it won an Oscar.
No, yeah, Oscars. Okay. 70s. I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure.
You gonna pass?
I'm gonna have to pass on this one.
Star Wars.
It's The Godfather 1 and 2.
Oh.
I never saw
Godfather.
those.
Godfather.
Of all of the movies mentioned, I haven't seen a single one. I haven't even watched The Godfather.
We are equally smart.
You guys
It
are
runs in
equally
the
smart.
family.
We were on a road trip to Edmonton a few months ago, and we were just doing like, oh, what's your top 5 favorite this, etc., etc. And I said like my favorite 5 movies. I said Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties, Goodfellas, and Godfather 3. And we laughed about that for probably half an hour.
I've been laughing about it for a month. This is the next one. These are questions. These next 10 questions you cannot get wrong.
Okay.
Good news.
Morally,
These are a quick fire round. This is just to give a rounded idea of who you are, who Sister Sadie is to our audience.
Help the FBI when they come to get you.
Yeah, various law enforcement agencies have used this as well. First question: favorite Jack Black movie?
Kung Fu Panda.
Great choice.
Good choice.
Is it the first time we've had Kung Fu Panda?
Nope, I think somebody else said it.
Okay.
It was
One of the Aaron Ball boys.
School of Rock. but-
Super Dave, I think, said Kung Fu
School of
Panda.
Rock's been the most popular answer so
Yeah.
far, rightfully so. But second question: weirdest or nichest celebrity crush that you've ever had?
I've ever had Robert De Niro.
Interesting.
That's solid. That's a good niche.
Hang on,
That's-
oh. Young Robert De Niro or current Robert De Niro?
There's a movie called The Family.
2011.
That Robert
To
De
be
Niro.
fair, he does have a beard in that film. And it works.
That's probably why.
That just nailed the segment. I like that.
Question 3: what's your comfort food?
Spaghetti. Yeah.
How do you like that?
I like it when my husband makes it, but spaghetti, I cook the spaghetti in a pot. I throw a jar of the Italian sausage sauce in, and then chili peppers, Parmesan. Call it good.
Very classic.
No meat, just make it.
Nice.
You know,
Did you say Jamaican?
just make it.
Oh, I thought you said Jamaican. I'm like, none of that is Jamaican. Jerk spaghetti.
I'd have it. Question 4: when given the option between an elevator and the stairs, do you take the stairs?
No.
No. You know what?
On average, I would say no.
I respect that.
There's some times where I'm like, the stairs is good, but
Not today.
not today.
Question 5: as someone has been around and about this great country and possibly beyond, where has the best tap water?
Best tap water. Honestly, to this day, it's still my sister's house on the west side of Saskatoon.
Interesting. Okay.
It's got like some bubbles in it, but the flavor's there. You know when it comes out of the tap and you have to wait for like
Yeah.
the fog to come out of the cup?
That's me a
Got some
while to
bubbles
get
in
used
it.
to
Comes in
over
a
here.
bottle. Has kind of like a lime flavor. Are you talking about 7-Up? Oh yeah, that's what that is.
That's it.
You just described Dallas's dream house.
I always had the best hair when I lived at her house. Like
Yeah.
just something about the water quality. It's right by the water treatment facility.
Maybe
Oh,
they just get
that's
it, they just get it fresh
probably
off the bat. Question 5: if you won the Lay's flavor competition, what would be your flavor?
Flavor comp.
If
Like
you could
for
invent,
chips?
if you could
Yeah.
invent a whole new chip flavor.
Louisiana hot sauce flavor.
Interesting.
Like the vinegary. kind
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
Cool.
take that. Ooh, I'd have that.
That's a good
Right.
answer. That I like that.
I like that.
Yep, no, that's what it for me. Next question, equally hard. Best tree.
I've got 2 answers. There's the one in my mom's house. It has like 2 trunks, and one of the trunks goes into a Y. So it's like you can perfectly sit in it and put your legs up.
Nice.
So that was my favorite childhood tree. The other tree is outside of New Orleans in Louisiana. There's have you ever played Red Dead 2?
Yeah, of course I have.
There's like the Braithworth Mansion.
Yeah.
That exists in real life.
Yes, it does.
And so I went there, and there's like a big, like the entrance to the building is like a long road of trees, and there was one that I sat on. It was like pretty low to the ground and had like a branch that like extended well beyond my 5-foot height, and it was a very nice tree.
Nice.
That was really cool.
Horrifying history. Good treat.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Next question. What household item would you like to have a conversation with?
That's a good one. Household item. Honestly, my coffee table in my living room.
Yeah.
It's seen everything.
I know that coffee table well. I mean, yeah, I feel like you could have some interesting stories to
it
tell.
would probably remember things that I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Imagine if that coffee table snitched.
Oh, fuck. A lot of people would be in trouble. I'm not saying I would be one of them, but yes. Next question. What chain restaurant or fast food or that sort of thing has the best bathrooms?
Best bathroom. Honestly, this one is debatable because I believe that where I break for work, we break at a Tim Hortons. I love it there. The downside is that the toilet paper comes out in like Kleenex strips.
Okay. Ooh.
So a lot of my coworkers don't like. I don't mind it, but the bathroom itself is like always like nice and tidy. It's like good lock. You know, it's not multiple stalls. It's like your own.
You have the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I really like is the privacy. So that one, the Tim Hortons in Blairmore,
Nice.
Saskatoon.
Word.
Next question. This is my last one for you. Sports? Question mark?
No.
No?
Excellent.
All right.
So this segment's going to be a bit different this week. This segment is usually called Settle an Argument, where I bring up something my fiance and I have been debating over the past week and try and settle the argument. But the segment is now different now for the near future. It's going to be called Do You Want My Toaster Oven?
Absolutely not. I have a beef with toaster ovens. They take up way too much counter space.
Yeah, that's why
and,
he's trying to get rid of one.
Yeah. And like, just get a toaster.
I have
you
a toaster.
Don't
It was
need
a grad
toaster.
gift. I didn't want the toaster oven, and I still
probably-
don't want the toaster oven.
I would just donate it.
All right, tune in
Like-
next time to see if the next guest wants my toaster oven.
This next segment is called Who Said That? I'm going to give you 2 tweets.
So if you want my toaster oven,
post-
comment in the comment section. I will send it to you. I will drop it off. Just come get it. Take it from me. I don't want it.
So this segment is called Who Said It? I'm going to give you 2 tweets or posts on X, as I guess they are now. One is...
Can we start doing truth socials?
No, I'm not downloading True Social. One of them is from a notable celebrity. The other one is from the gremlin sitting across from you, your blood relative, unfortunately, Dallas Outsider. Your person today is... who said this? Dallas Outsider or Pitbull?
Okay.
The first one is... nothing but love to T-Pain and his team for a great run. Thank you for holding me down when I was sick on stage. Dale.
That's definitely got to be Pitbull.
You would think so. And the second one is... I had a dream last night that my cat whispered in my ear and said, "You're going to die in 3 seconds." And then I woke up. Is this real, chat?
That sounds like Dallas.
You are correct on both counts, yeah. Dallas's Twitter is an absolute goldmine of just useless yells.
What's his Twitter handle again for the audience?
I think it's just Dallas Outsider.
It's Dallas Outsider.
Yeah, follow him. It's a trip.
Dallas is the only person I know who's gleefully active on
Also,
Twitter.
follow November Down on Twitter because Dallas runs it and he just posts the weirdest shit that we're not aware of. So just that's also a bit of a trip. And I didn't know that till I saw it the
I
other
find
day.
out what happens. I go on Twitter exactly once a week, and that is to get an answer for that question. And that's when I have to see all of what Dallas has posted, both on his account and on the November Down account.
No, we had a Twitter until he did that.
The next segment is called Secret Time. I'm going to give you a secret that is true about each one of us. There's also going to be one fake out. You have to assign which one you think is true about each one of us, and which
Okay.
one is the fake one. First one is one of us punched a kid one time in their life.
Sounds like Dallas.
One of us cried for a whole day after getting their first detention.
That also sounds like Dallas.
One of us cries every time we watch Spider-Man 2.
That's Alex.
And the last one is one of us burnt down the school gym.
None of you.
So
I don't think any of you would burn down a school gym.
So you think that's the fake out?
Yeah.
Which one's Ollie?
I'm going to say you cried at detention.
right?
And then me.
I already forgot all of them.
Spider-Man 2 or punched a kid one time. Which one do you think is true
Maybe you punched a kid, Alex, and Dallas cries at Spider-Man.
Oh, so close.
Really?
Other way
You
around.
had it perfectly
dang.
at first.
The first time through, you did nail it. That was creepy.
I did cry for a whole day after I got my first ever detention. It wasn't even.
I could see that with
in
you.
actuality, small correction, but detention sounds better. It wasn't even a detention. It was a warning that if I kept up that behavior, I would get a detention. So I cried for a whole day and didn't even have a detention to cry about. And whilst, yeah, it's true, none of us did burn down our schools. My school did burn down twice.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
Well, 2.5.
Freaky. Guy
Yeah.
Fawkes Day is taken very seriously over there.
That is everything for us. Thank you so much. Have you got any last words that you'd like to say? The ban on music is lifted. If you want to mention about any
Hey.
upcoming stuff, tell the audience.
We have a new album coming out.
Hell yeah.
Chesterfield. It's called Infinite Expanse and Raccoon.
I love it.
How do you
That's good.
figure that one?
That's on brand.
I will say this as someone who's been a fan of your music for a while. I'm super excited for the new album to come
New
out.
single
Yeah.
sounds great too.
Thank you.
So that's good.
Yeah.
And we can find, and I assume people can find you and the band on most social medias.
Yeah.
Can we find you on Twitter? And if not, do you want Dallas to
No.
run a Twitter for you?
Maybe. I just recently started a TikTok.
I've
yeah.
been
So-
struggling with that so much.
You should go watch them. They're
I watch yours.
works of
Is that your
art.
personal TikTok?
That's the Chesterfield
Okay.
one.
The Chesterfield
Oh,
one's
yeah.
pretty good. It's second only to Landfalls.
Yeah. I'm trying to learn what people want. And also like the audience, because anytime I make content with the boys, it's boy content. Like it's like, yeah, I made a girly video and it did like well, but it was like hard to go back to posting all this like testosterone-y stupid bullshit.
I don't know if testosterone is the right word for people like Justin, Eric, and Brecken.
Yeah, maybe not. But it's just boy
Definitely boy-
content.
oh,
Like I
usually
know
boy.
boys would watch it, but like I don't think girls would stay and watch the video.
Any other final shout-outs?
My last final thing I want to say is that this summer I was at the beach with Dallas and he wouldn't let me bury him. And I'm still offended.
What the hell, Dallas?
Bullshit.
We dug the hole and everything and he would not get in.
I
So
just don't like being buried.
Okay, so you don't. How do you know? You never tried it.
I did. My uncle put a banana in my appendage area, making it look like I had a penis.
but you
One
do have
time.
a penis.
What does that have to do with being buried?
That was when he buried me one time.
Oh, he buries
Yeah,
you, and then atop where your junk would be, he put the banana.
Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
just thought I was
I
like,
thought you were admitting to something.
what's it like to? Yeah, Dallas. Have you ever been buried alive before? Well, I did get molested. If that counts. No, but okay.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for listening and watching along with us. Thank you so much to Haines Mile for hosting us, and thank you so much for you guys being here as well. I guess I'll be grateful for you two today.
Watch the official audio on Funky Moose.
Yes, and thank you again to Outsider Radio for mostly recording this and editing it.
Yes, you're welcome.
I'm gonna slap him.
All right, catch us next week.
Oh wait, what was the card
Oh
thing?
God. We have one final segment
Oh
that
my
I keep
God.
forgetting about because no one likes it but me. All right, so this segment is called "Is This Your Card?" So, Keisha, if you would please pick a card. Yes, that card.
Show it to the.
Show it to the
that
camera, or one of the cameras. Okay, excellent. Now put her back in the deck here, and then I'm gonna shuffle up Upagus.
I like that they're co-op cards.
I know, right?
High class.
All right. Is this your card? Are
It is.
you serious?
It actually is.
Oh my God! I did it again! I did it again!